Feel like the roadrunner, where I'm so far out ahead that nobody's ever going to catch up with my ideas. But the story that I'm going to tell is when I was feeling like Wile E. Coyote, and I was chasing after something I never thought I'd catch. I was at my desk, which is in the teacher workroom, and there was these couple teachers. And they were just commiserating about everything education. One of the things they were commiserating about that day was the professional development they were getting ready to go to. And I think they knew my desk was only about 30 feet away from them. And they were also commiserating about these people. The guy in the bottom right, if anyone knows Ohio, he's our governor. He's also known as the devil to teachers. Because these people who don't know anything about education, child psychology, and pedagogy are making decisions for us. Then every other acronym they could come up with, they're complaining about. And I'm starting to feel like the weight of the world is on top of me, and then all of a sudden, I'm just sinking. And I also have to do professional development in a minute. And I feel like I'm Wile E. Coyote. The moment the anvil just hit me on the head, and I'm just sunk. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to lift myself up. But how do I lift myself up and move this elephant that's in front of me? And my boss has the greatest analogy. She asks me all the time when I'm feeling like this, how do you eat an elephant? And she gets me thinking. That grounds me a little bit when she says that question. It really gets me thinking about the problem with ad lib. It gets me thinking about, okay, now what can I do? Who can I talk to? These people in the room are the people that have the answers for me. So many of you that I see on Twitter. And I think about, okay, what conversations do I need to have that will lead me to getting the answers? So what I've learned from the people here and the people who've come before me is if you build it, they will come. If I build a powerful conversation, a powerful learning event, the people will come to it, and that's what will get change it needs. And it started with the greatest conversation maker. You know, he would just gather people and start talking about things and get people thinking. Now, in the modern day, we have the blogs, the webinars that happen every day. You know, Steve Hartigan started the Future of Education, where there's a webinar every day. Many of you have webinars or podcast series. You know, every Tuesday, how many of us participate in EdChat? Or how many of you have created your own chat? What I've created in my school since then is a face-to-face thing called UAHS chat. I've stolen their idea. And I put up a poll once a week, and every couple of weeks we get together. You know, some of the other, I love the fact that our pictures enter each other's presentations. You know, these people started Ed Camp Philly. That motivated me and said, what conversation can I start like this? So a colleague of mine and I started Ed Camp Columbus, where we're from. And many other Ed Camp creators and chat creators are in the room. So we're starting these conversations that let us wrestle with these things that help us move the elephant. And then, of course, the person who got us here today made this statement, if the video plays. So it's not going to play. So Chris Lehman challenged us, I'm not even worried about it. He challenged us to go out to our communities and our congressmen and everybody around us and start conversations about not what education is, but how can you dream and make it what it should be. And I cheated the system here and had this play for 2 slides, so that was 30 seconds of time. So that's the question I have now, is how do my challenge for each of you is how do we start more conversations, but not conversations that we're having now, because right now the conversations are with the people here in this room, and we're leaving here with great ideas, but how do we get these ideas to the people that make the decisions for us? How do we get them to the parents? How do we eat this elephant? And the answer that she always gives me is one bite at a time. So what bite are you going to take? What bite am I going to take next? What are we going to chew off? We each have a power in our hands, which is our voice. We know what education should be because we work with the greatest minds in education. But now we have to get that to the people that make the decisions. The first group is our parents. Because if a parent walks in the office and instead says, why does my student have a B? And they start asking, why is my student not thinking? That's a powerful question, and that's not the question they're asking. So if we get the crowds of parents together and start asking our administrators and our congressmen and all those the right questions, we'll create these conversations. So how are you going to go back and create this conversation?